You know, I find a lot of people get into their business very on purpose. I feel like I got into this business completely on accident. Um, I guess I would say it was as a result of what happened to me in 2008. It was a complete disaster. So I found that everything I had worked my whole life for up until 2008 was actually completely wiped out within about a 12-month period. I lost everything that I had. I was able to keep really one house, but I had multiple properties. My losses were in the seven figures, and I found myself having to completely start over. What I didn't realize about this whole process of getting into this business was how did I get here? I literally felt like in my life I had crossed every T, dotted every I. I met with the right advisors, I had life insurance, I had money in the bank, and when 2008 did its correction, it was like a tsunami for me. It literally wiped me out. And it was one of those conversations with God one night that just kind of looked like, you know, God, I don't know how I managed to get myself here. I felt like I was pretty smart, but obviously not smart enough. And it really was like being in search of, like, how did this happen? And I just kind of made a deal with God that, God, if you can ever show me what happened to me, I want to share this with other people so they never have this happen to them. So kind of on purpose by accident, I ended up in this business, and I feel like it's been a huge blessing because now I can see what other people are doing because I experienced it myself and go, look, let's kind of course correct this a little bit. And it's been a really good run. I've really enjoyed myself. Well, now we're having another correction, and that's COVID. So, you know, 2008 was the mortgage meltdown. And, you know, just when we've all kind of gotten back on our feet, or not even a lot of people, not even remotely where they were before, but we're finally starting to get back on our feet. And then we had the COVID pandemic. And I hate to even bring that up, but the bottom line is people are struggling again. And my concern is because we're constantly having these huge things, people aren't saving for a rainy day in the way that they need to. And when we look at traditional forms of retirement and savings plans, they're just not enough. And what I really am concerned about is there's not enough education out there. So I have made it my mission to first educate people on, okay, what's their situation, and then what are we going to do about it? But then there's a lot of products available that a lot of people don't know about. Part of the problem in 2008 with what happened to me is the advisors I trusted, I found, once I learned this business, I learned that they had me in products that were very, very, very good for them and not so good for me. And it made me very angry when I realized, wow, maybe I wasn't taken care of so well. For me, because I've been on the receiving end of that, I have made my life's work as to about doing for others, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I look at products that, for each individual, what their needs are, but I look at it as if this is my family member or my mom. Like, how would I want my mom treated if I was doing a plan for my mom? So the products that I choose for those people have nothing to do with the commissions I make, but everything to do with how good is it for them. Because I know if I do the right thing, I'm always taken care of. It's not even a factor. What I've also learned about this industry is there's a lot of advisors and planners that kind of take the path of least resistance. And what I mean by that is it would be something that's easy for them to do, and they make money quick, but they don't want to do the learning or the education it requires to really do a good job taking care of the client. So there are products out there that maybe are a little more difficult to do for us as an advisor or planner, but because it's the best thing for the client, you've got to do your homework. That's what you get paid to do, is be good at what you do. And that sometimes requires working crazy hours finding the best products for your clients. Well, I guess my first very favorite product for those that qualify would be premium financing. And the reason I love it so much is this would have been the one product that if somebody would have introduced me to, it would have changed my life forever. I would have not been in the situation that I'm in today, having to play catch up. Premium financing is, to me, the ultimate if you qualify for it. And what I mean by that is there's income requirements, there's certain things that have to take place for you to qualify. But when you look at the fact that it's a tax-free retirement, you look at the fact that you don't have to put up all the money and you can leverage banks' money just like you would leveraging a bank by using a mortgage. Most people don't pay cash for a house. Why is that? Well, who has, $500,000 to pay cash for a house? Well, what if we could use the bank? We put down a certain amount of money and use the bank for the rest. Well, that's what premium financing is leveraging a bank to also fund your retirement and not having to put up all the guarantees that you would even on a mortgage. So it's the most fantastic product out there. Wish somebody would have proposed that to me 20 years ago, but be it as it may, we start from here.
Exactly. And it's not a very widely known product at all. Why do you think that is?
Well, not a lot of agents qualify to sell it, okay? There are selling agreements that take place, and you've got to have some basic understanding of this, but again, it goes back to a lot of agents are afraid of it because they don't understand it and they don't know about it. I come from a mortgage lending background, and because I understand mortgage so well and I understand how mortgages work, it's literally leveraging a bank to pay for your home. Well, this is no different. So to me, it made sense. Well, why wouldn't I leverage a bank to pay for my retirement? It's just that so very few agents, when they see what this is involved, they see more paperwork instead of, well, how would this benefit my client? I see, wow, these benefits are so huge. If I can make a client look this good in retirement, wow, what could happen for our future together as far as a relationship going forward, as far as referrals and what this can do for not only them but their family. And there's just so many things that are involved in it, and it's really one of my favorite things about it is it's generational wealth. It's a great way to keep money in your family generationally, like the ultimate, the affluent do.
That's huge. That's huge. You did mention there are some qualifications that go with that. Your last statement suggests that it's not just for the affluent; it's for others as well. So we could be looking at potentially middle class doing it, depending on their income and the qualifications. Is that correct?
Right. Premium financing was typically just for the affluent years ago. And again, it only came on the scene, especially in the Kaizen world that I live in. It came on the scene about 20 years ago. Before that, it was for only the affluent. Today, I call it the emerging affluent. Who would the emerging affluent be? Maybe the middle class, maybe a family that makes $100,000 to $150,000 a year, and they can show that kind of income. Well, then we have something where they can start to put in a little bit more money, but now the bank sees their net worth, they see they've got good income behind them, and now the bank says, we're gonna kick in the rest that you need, and now we've got a deal. I always give out my personal cell phone, actually. I've been doing it for years and it hasn't changed. My number is 702-683-7429. You can also reach me by my email, which is cindybirkland@gmail.com.
Perfect. Cindy Birkland, thank you very much for joining us today. And if you guys want to get a hold of her, her information is there at the bottom of the screen. We look forward to seeing your success here shortly.
Thank you.